This week on Case Studies with the Biz Doc, you asked for it, I did it. Shopee, it's part of Garena, and C-Money, and C. What's it all mean? I have the whole story from the venture funding to the IPO this week. Shopee. You asked me to dive into Shopee because it's a competitor to eBay, but it's also connected to a competitor of very big video game companies. Where did they come from? Let's dive into the history, because this research that took me to Singapore and Southeast Asia, I think is phenomenally interesting, and it taught me something about this company, and now I understand why you asked for it. Shopee is actually a division of C, which started out in 2009 as Garena. Garena is a game company famous for Free Fire, which is a game that has won accolades. It's been #1 download in 2019, 2020, and there's a lot of things going on. So here you had this game studio that starts out, and what got birthed out of it after a while, and I could do a whole case study on the game studio, but we're going to step off to what they birthed out. And what they birthed in 2014 was a company called C-Money, which is a little similar to PayPal, and Shopee. So let's step back a second. This game company was very successful, and it was actually backed by Tencent, which means these guys are not operating in a garage. They're operating with great support, expert advisors, and everything you need to drive a great little company forward. But along the way, obviously, they were incubating what they could do with technology. Now, it's not too unusual to see a transactional finance company come out of a game company. Why is that? Because games are built now on hierarchies of buying weapons, buying additional resources, saving your character and your profile. And so there's a lot of transactions that go into a game beyond the first purchase of the game and establishing it for yourselves. So it's very natural that you've got transaction systems and you're going to be integrating with transaction processors like a PayPal or something, or others, so that people can keep paying into their game life and maintain their existence. Well, so it's not unusual that something like this would come out of it. Then what came out of that was Shopee. Well, if you've got the ability to make transactions and you're a great, massive online game company, that means that you can build software with scale, and you know how to manage those servers and everything that goes with that. So it's a short walk to say, well, what if we built something where people could put stuff up for sale and things? Well, and along comes Shopee, and that was 2015. So between all this going on here, they arrive at 2014 with a valuation of $1 billion. So it took them about 5 years to be a unicorn. Now, there are some companies in Silicon Valley, it only takes 5 months to become a unicorn, but we'll cover that in a different case study, and I think some of that is happening way too fast. In 2015, they would get investment from, so Tigran, who was that investment from? Was that the Ontario Teachers' Pension? Yes, it was? Yes, it was. Thank you, Tigran. So here they go, and they established a valuation of $2.5 billion. So in only 1 year's time, they more than 1.5 times their valuation, $2.5 billion. And here we go, 2017, with an IPO. Now, in the background, something was happening, and that was Alibaba, the other monster of China, who was purchasing Lazada, that was what would be a competitor to Shopee. And by the time we get to today, 2021, Shopee, backed by Tencent, public on the New York Stock Exchange, would be ahead of Lazada and Alibaba. So in the United States and you in Europe maybe don't even know about this online shopping war and everything that's going on in China, but this is a very, very interesting thing to dive in a little bit deeper, even beyond the coverage that I give it on this particular case study. So here we go in 2017, they go out with their IPO. They changed the name from Garena to C. C would become the holding company of C-Money. Isn't that interesting? And Shopee and Garena. Garena really was the parent. Technology births out Shopee, and C-Money changes its name to C, and that was when it went public as SE. So as you can see, in 2016, they were $340 million in revenue. 2017, $553. 2018, $1.05 billion. So they doubled the revenue and didn't really move the stock price much. And then 2019, $2.9 billion. And then 2020, $4.4 billion. But the stock was still sitting down here. Now I'm going to show you why. Two reasons. Number one, failure to give properly toned, in other words, nuanced, explained guidance to the stock market and the United States stock market and all the analysts. They want information, guidance. Even within the framework of what you can and can't say, there's a way to give good guidance. Here's why. In 2017, when they went out, it was $332 million loss. Then 2018, not only did they double the revenue, they more than doubled their loss to $694 million loss. They took the loss down to 178, and take a look. The stock came up a little bit of a plateau, but then for 2020, $107 million in profits on this, and talking about being profitable, and the success of Shopee and C money was starting to take off. So they are no longer just a games company. C is a games company, a revenue enablement and financial services company, C money, and then Shopee, a platform for shopping. And guess what? All of a sudden, the good news comes together and they're profitable and the stock heads to Mars. There's only one word for that, is damn. Look where they went, all the way up to almost $300 a share. They're $260 now. They're worth $137 billion, and they are on Elon Musk's rocket with his car and Starman heading to Mars. Take a look at that. Let's do a quick comparison to companies that we know about here in the United States and Europe. eBay, $40 billion valuation. Electronic Arts, $40 billion valuation. Activision Blizzard, $75 billion valuation. Why did I choose those? Gaming company, shopping company, financial services transactions platform. So if I put all these together, the only thing I'm lacking is PayPal, but that's $300 billion. So let's just put these together, $155 billion. So in other words, C at $137 billion is almost worth as much as the two of the 8 biggest game companies in the world, I think is the ranking, and eBay, a transaction platform to sell things, and that is barely bigger, just $18 billion, bigger than C today. So you can see where this is going in the giant markets that are Southeast Asia. This company is based in Singapore, and you can see they're in Vietnam, they're in Southeast Asia, and these companies also in Brazil, and they're also in Mexico. So here they are, Southeast Asia, and there. You can praise them for what they've done, but remember, this isn't 4 guys in a garage. They got backing from Tencent and some very successful people, and they really have leveraged their core competencies. So let's take a look at the lessons for you and me. What have they done that matters to you and me, whether have a little technology company here in the United States or we've got a t-shirt company in Berlin? Well, one of the things they did is gamers rule. Gaming is the platform for entertainment. It's worth more than the entire movie industry by a factor by a multiple, and they are the entertainment platform of tomorrow. So they are generating the revenue, and it is not just creative, it is technology, and it is innovation at the software level that is just staggering. So they leverage that, build on their competencies for a financial platform for transactions, and if you're a games company, you got financial transactions happen inside that game. And then EBITDA matters. You can take a look at the revenue line here on the stock line and the EBITDA line. So it's driving to profitability and giving the market guidance on how the 3 components of your company are doing. And boom, the stock takes off during the COVID year, and people might think it's only due to the games. It's not. It's a blend of the games and of the shopping and of the financial services platform. And that is the story of Shopee, which is really part of the story of Garena leveraging its competencies to build a great company that may look different, but there's very distinct similarities with how they apply their core competencies and make 3 companies out of 1. Well, that's what I think about these great companies that have come out of a gaming organization, but what do you think? Leave me a comment down below, and while you're there, please subscribe to Valuetainment Economics, the best channel on the internet for this kind of case studies and other great content, and hit the bell so that you can subscribe and get notifications when there's more from the Biz Doc and others here at Valuetainment Economics. And if you like this case study, check out this one from the Biz Doc archives. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as well. Until next time, as I like to say, I'm Tom Ellsworth, the Biz Doc, and I hope I left you better than I found you.